Ladies and gentlemen, Beth Tarasi, she's an attorney by trade. She happens to be married to my good friend Tony Sinatra, but the real reason she's here tonight to talk about her passion, people, the district, Congress. She's running against Keith Rothfuss, and she's there. Why? Because she wants to make a difference. Lots of stuff to get to tonight. But just moments ago, I left my two children. Their mother, a public education teacher, teaches kindergarten here in Hopewell. Last night, the PSEA, a longtime spokesperson, Butch Santacola, was here. Beth Tarasi, education means a lot to me as a parent, and I know it does to you as well. And we have dropped the ball, to say the least. So what has gone wrong with public education in our country, do you think?
I don't think we have paid attention to it. I think that we have to, we thought that we could put it on autopilot and just let it go. Well, that doesn't happen. We have an old form of funding and an old form of education, and we need to rework it. We need to automate it. We have to get it up with the times.
Funding is the big problem, and I've said this before. Manufacturing is the big issue. The middle class is what drove public education. It will always be the reason our economy has, well, been around and will be around for many years to come. But what frightens me, more and more manufacturing jobs are lost. I get recent news of another place, but I won't mention here because I don't know all the details yet, that is closing in Beaver County, that I'm very upset about. So unless we start putting people back to work, we're not going to be able to fix problems like education.
Exactly. We have to work, we have to get trade schools, we have to get apprenticeship programs, we have to go to businesses and contact them and ask them what their needs are for technical workers, for blue collar workers, and get those businesses moving and growing and going. And that we will do that through training.
You know, the thing that I admire about you, you're obviously very established as an attorney. It's not as though you need this job. But I asked you why before we went to tape, and you just said you're angry.
I'm angry.
What are you angry about? I mean, I can only imagine, but I want you to tell the audience.
Well, I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, and I grew up in the Beaver Valley, in this area, in the 60s and 70s, and it was hopping, and people were happy, and school rivalries were just fabulous. People were proud of their towns. People were proud of their work. Blue collar, college, everybody, we mixed. We were Western Pennsylvania strong. It's gone. It's all gone. And it's slowly been slipping away. And this year, the switch turned. And I said, no one else is doing anything about this. I need to step in. I'm gonna do something about it.
The media, are they focusing on the real issues? And if not, what do you think the real issues are to correct some of the things that we were just talking about moments ago in Washington?
Well, I don't know if the media is getting the straight story all the time, but they seem to be partisan. They pick on CNN, CNN picks on Fox, and they go back and forth. And all they want to do is make emotional news stories and get people fighting against each other for whatever reason, for religious, for guns, and that's all they're doing. Is there's a lot of chatter about these issues that don't really make sense, instead of getting to the issues that make this country strong. We have to work on education. We have to work on jobs. And I'm going to say it again, we have to work on jobs. That jobs and the economy are key to a happy society. Forget about all these far right ideas and way far left ideas. We got to come to the middle and get it back again.
You know, the guy who once held the seat that you're trying to seek, Jason Altmeyer, a very good friend of mine, recently has left his job with Florida Blue in Florida. The reason being, he's going to be out on the stump promoting his book. I've already interviewed him here on my Facebook and YouTube page, and he'll be with me on the radio coming up shortly, and I'm sure he'll be back. It's called Dead Center, the Polarization of America, talking about how nobody actually votes with their heart anymore. They either lean to the right or lean to the left, depending on their party affiliation.
Exactly.
Whatever happened to actually saying, you know what, this may be good for the next generation, so I'm going to vote with my conscience and my heart, so this is why I'm going to either vote for it or against it. Why don't they do that?
I don't know. They either vote R or they vote D, and that is not right. That's polarizing our country. It's because it seems to have come out to be 50-50. We need to vote on the person, get the person into office who's going to move the issues that affect our different districts. and he's going to push hard to make our district or our congressional area a better place.
Roads and bridges and building up the local economy, the family. Your husband and I talk a lot about it. When I get around him, it makes me want to be around my children even more, because that's the way I was raised, and I think the family that lives and stays together grows together, and that actually makes the area a better place. The middle class, jobs, manufacturing, those 3 shifts, putting money back into the economy. It seems that it's lost forever, but I have to believe when I see what's happening with the Shell petrochemical plant, things that are happening with local companies that deliver steel to various corporations, I have hope. I'm starting to see it again, but the problem is no one wants to talk about that. They want to talk about they said, he said, she said. There's all of this infighting, and again, it gets back to the end result. Nothing gets done, a term comes and it goes, and when you're in Congress, you're in office for a year trying to do something, and then you're out trying to raise money and run again. I want to at least see things happen that we can actually put a check mark next to and move on to the next thing. Is that a hard thing to ask for? Is that a fair statement, do you think?
I think it's a fair statement. And if you know me, that's the kind of person I am. I'm going to be out every day working hard. I am a tireless worker. I started when I was in college. I went to the University of Pittsburgh on a women's basketball scholarship. We were up in the morning until late at night. I had to work out, go to school, work out, eat training table, go to study table, go to bed, get up the next day and do the same thing. 7 days a week we were doing something. I was on the road playing. It was like having a full-time job and full-time school. It wasn't like it was. Then when I went to law school, I worked in the day and I went to law school at night. All I know is work and getting things done. I like to win.
In closing, I'm going to let you kind of spend a minute talking to the audience, but there are some big issues out there like North Korea, terrorism. I mean, there's some things that really are affecting all of us, but people are so caught up in just trying to feed their families. Mm-hmm. And when you think about 22% of the American population is the working poor, that's $23,000 a year income. You try to raise your family on that money. I was the one up until 3 a.m. last night because I had found out some of my friends were losing their job that they had been working at for 30 years. Why? Because I care. There are some serious issues, so people can't think about Korea and what's happening with Kim Jong-un. They can't think about ISIS because they're just trying to make ends meet. So what do we do to help those people find a way to make a paycheck, but on the other hand, make our country safe again? This is my opinion. I don't think building a wall is going to help any of that. Immigrants built this country, and if they do it the right way, I say bring them in, because many of them are holding down jobs that real Americans don't want to hold down. They would rather be on the welfare rolls taking a paycheck from the government as opposed to going out and working. So in closing, help me. This is what you're trying to do, and you're the educated one here, an attorney by law. You want to be a congresswoman. What do we do to make this thing actually right this ship, if you will?
I think everybody has begun to develop the boogeyman theory. Everything is a boogeyman. Korea is a boogeyman, so let's throw millions of dollars at it. Terrorism's a boogeyman, so let's throw millions of dollars at it. The Mexicans, they're bringing drugs in, let's throw millions of dollars and build a big wall. No. It is education, diplomacy, taking care of your people at home first, and then discussing the foreign issues. Yes, we have to build up our defense, but when we're spending more money on our defense than we are on our people, we're going to have problems. It's going to be a big, big problem because our people are going to eventually revolt.
That's already happening.
They're not being taken care of. We need to take care of our own first.
And you're a public servant. I think it's simple. You're supposed to serve the public.
Right.
Just something to think about. Good luck.
That's
Thank
what
you
I'll
so
do.
much.
Thank you.
All right, good people. Beth Tarasi, ladies and gentlemen, coming up, another Pitt alum. I guess it's blue and gold night. What do you think about this football game Saturday?
Oh,
I know. I know. It's going to be tough, but hey.
Go Pitt.
Go Pitt, please. Just make it competitive. We love you, Pitt. 93.7 The Fan, 3:30 Saturday. Pitt, Penn State at Happy Valley. She, too, a former Lady Panther. I love her. She's Sally Shearer. We're going to talk about an amazing woman who did so much to advance women's athletics, who recently passed away, and also tell you about a very special event, a 4-ball amateur golf tournament that's coming up at the Indiana Country Club later this month. Sally Shearer next from the club at Shadow Lake. Stay with us.